Today I'm talking about three asset classes that I am the most bullish on in June 2019. These three asset classes are some that I will continue to be bullish on, most likely for the rest of the year, assuming something crazy doesn't happen or change. I know that a lot of YouTubers make videos about stocks that I'm buying for this particular month, but that can be kind of volatile and can change month by month. These, however, I think are on the cusp of some very long and sustainable rallies, and I'm very excited about these asset classes within the next year, 2 years, and maybe even 5+ years. So let's go ahead and talk about them right now. The first on the list is equities. So equities are sometimes referred to as stocks, basically the stock market, and I'm talking about the major indices, S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, not so much the Russell 2000 as much as the other ones. My favorite index, in case you guys don't know, is the NASDAQ. I love the tech-heavy nature of the NASDAQ, and I think that tech stocks in particular can definitely lead the way in terms of gains for the overall stock market. So let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ at a longer term time frame. In my opinion, we are forming some kind of cup and handle pattern or some kind of base. Recently, we came back and retested the 100-week moving average, and ever since then, we've been taking off like a rocket. The same thing can be said about the S&P 500. As you guys can see, every once in a while, we have to retest the 200-week, which is this green line. We did so here in December 2018, and then every once in a while, we come back after we rally, and then we retest this 100-week moving average, which is the cyan line. We did that twice here in 2016, and then we just rallied for another year. We came back, retested the 100-week moving average here in 2019, and then we started rallying for a few weeks. So I think that this base that we're forming right here is pretty similar to the base here in the summer of 2015, 2016, and I do think that we will have a very strong rally once we break out of this resistance. As you guys can see, we are butting up against all-time highs, and I think we may have actually hit all-time highs today on the S&P 500, and I think it's just the start of another long bull run. If you go ahead and zoom out for a bit, you have a lot of people telling you that this market has to come down and it has to crash or something because it's just been too long. As you guys can see, the past two recessions happened within about with 8 years apart or something like that. So the 2000 recession, 2008 recession, and we've yet to have another recession. So this bull market has been alive for about 11 years now, and a lot of people say that it has to come crashing down now. Personally, I don't agree that anything has to happen. I think that the markets can do whatever they want. As you guys can see, aside from this really crazy time, which was Black Friday in 1987, this is the entire S&P 500's history, starting in 1983. We had a pretty large bull run from 1983 all the way to 2000. So that right there is a 17-year bull run for the most part. If you don't count this flash crash here in 1987. So like I said, we don't have to crash just because. And take a look at this monthly candlestick. It does look like we're going to engulf the previous month's candlestick, and overall it just looks set to explode in my honest opinion. So that's why I'm bullish on equities. The other asset class that I really like is actually going to be Bitcoin. So Bitcoin currently sits at 9.7K. As I film this video, it is doing another monster rally. As you guys can see, the past few weeks have been nothing but straight up for the most part. And taking a look at Bitcoin from a longer term time frame, you guys can see that it looks like we're making our way up back to this 2,000 or 20,000 mark that we made here around December of 2017. So we've been in this bear market for about a year now, but it looks like we just came back to retest the 200-week moving average, which can act as support in Bitcoin, as it did so in the past for the most part. As long as we stay above this green line, this 200-week moving average, in my opinion, Bitcoin is bullish. We came back, retested this moving average here towards the end of 2018, and then we started rallying. So as a full disclaimer, because both of these have to do with stocks and Bitcoin, I do have to make it clear that I am long both equities and Bitcoin. The third asset class I'm kind of long in a weird way, but I own both of these asset classes on Robinhood. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Robinhood account. So yeah, I am long equities on Robinhood. As a result of all this rallying with stocks, my account is up 26% in the past month, and I think that it will continue to skyrocket within the next year or 2 years or something like that. And then taking a look at Bitcoin, crypto BTC, I am officially up over 100% on Bitcoin. As you guys can see, I'm up 112% on my Bitcoin position. My average cost is about 4.5K, and I plan on holding this one until it gets to about 20K and maybe even 25K or above. So we'll take it one day at a time. Bitcoin, I am very bullish on. The third asset class that I'm talking about today is gold. And so I mentioned earlier that I am long gold in a very weird way. So I don't actually own physical gold and I don't own a gold ETF, but I actually own gold through the form of gold mining stocks. You can find gold mining stocks in some gold mining ETFs such as GDX and GDXJ. I prefer to own individual miners that I think have a lot of upside. So that's how I choose to leverage myself. Now, before I talk about M1 Finance and and the positions that I have on M1 Finance in terms of gold miners, let me just zoom out a bit on gold for a second. So ever since about 2011, around September, August of 2011, we've been in a bear market that's lasted for at least quite a few years now, maybe 4.5 years or something like that. And then here towards the end of 2015, we had a very strong rally. This was the first sign of life that Bitcoin actually had, breaking out of this bear market. Ever since that rally, though, we've just been in this sideways consolidation. As you guys can see, let me take out this line. We're kind of in a channel. Okay, and this to me looks like a bullish ascending triangle. What it means is that buyers are getting stronger and they're not waiting until the price gets lower, but the bears are pushing back still. And now what we have here is a very strong rally that we're just at the beginning of. And I think gold is on the cusp of another multi-year rally that we've gotten in the past. And when Bitcoin rallies really strongly, the gold miners rally strongly as well. So on M1 Finance, I have this account called Narwhal, which is meant for experimental portfolios. Within Narwhal, I have a gold miners pie, which I'll share in the description below. These are all of my gold miners. As you guys can see, I'm up a lot on a lot of them. This account is actually up 40%, and I've had it ever since August 27th, 2018. Again, I don't have a ton of money in this account. This is mostly for gambling. So I basically have $1,000 in gold miners, and I have $1,000 in Bitcoin. Or actually, I have $2,000 in Bitcoin, but initially I put in $1,000 in Bitcoin, and then it rose to $2,000. But anyway, so on gold miners, I'm basically putting money in little by little. And yeah, so I'm kind of killing it on a lot of these gold mining positions. On Newmont, I'm up 288%. On Anglo Gold, I'm up 116%. 127% on GFI, etc., etc. There are a lot of winners here, and there definitely are a few losers. Hecla Mining, not doing so well on. Pan American Silver Corporation, not doing so well on. But the green far outweighs the red, and that's mostly because the green is so green. I'm talking 65%, 50%, 59%, and then like 49%, and then of course 127%, 288%, and things like that. So if I'm right, and if we are on the cusp of a very long bull run in gold, I think that gold miners will benefit greatly. And so I am very bullish. I think it's a very exciting time to be an investor in equities, Bitcoin, and gold. Full disclaimer, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm only showing the stocks and the asset classes that I'm actually long in. So like I said, great time to be an investor. Let me know if any of you guys are invested in any of the asset classes that I just talked about. I'm very curious to know. Hope you guys have a great night and good luck trading.